Hi everybody, Angel here. I hope you're doing great wherever you are on this big blue planet. And today I'm coming back on to give a few more hacks for raw vegan in winter. I know that this can be challenging for some people, and I have shared some of that in prior videos this week. And before I kick off the topics that I will be covering today regarding hacks for thriving as a raw vegan in winter and year round, I want to highlight some of the upcoming events that I have this month and going forward. So tomorrow, January 13th, I have a raw vegan reset, so you can schedule your own personalized one-on-one session with me to start or reset your raw vegan journey that optimizes your diet and lifestyle to align with your happy energy journey life goals. So tap the link in my bio and check that out. The following Saturday, January 20th, I have a meditation session, and I will be guiding a group meditation so that you can learn to relax, reduce stress, improve your focus, enhance sleep, increase awareness, for overall well-being, so many more benefits for all levels. It's for all levels of experience. Even if you've never meditated before, it doesn't matter. You can show up and participate in that meditation session on January 20th, link in bio for the wellness events. And the final event so far this month is January 27th. The topic is travel well, and I will be sharing my hacks, tips, and experience so that you can learn to travel well around the world. My expert tips, advice, and insights will be a part of this session, and I've been lucky and blessed and just so grateful to have visited 6 out of 7 continents. So I only have 1 continent to go, Antarctica. I might get there, I'm not sure. Time will tell. And so I will be sharing my expertise and experiences and stories and insights on how to travel well. And that's January 27th. So tap the link in my bio to get you signed up. And I also want to share and thank the people who have been commenting on my videos this week on YouTube. If you're not following me on YouTube, I invite you to follow me over there. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you're not following me on Instagram, I invite you to follow me on Instagram. So I really want to thank those who are giving feedback, comments, questions, etc. on particularly on YouTube. And I saw another comment and question come in, and I thought it was really a really good and relevant comment and question. And it was related to the fact that there are so many different opinions about the raw vegan diet and lifestyle. And so it can be challenging for some people to figure out what is true, what is not true, what they should do, what they should not do, etc., etc. And so this viewer, and I really appreciate the comment and the question, because I've also struggled with this, to be honest. And so my response to this wonderful person is as follows, and that's what I posted over on YouTube. I look at research, data, and science, and based on that information, as well as my personal experience and tapping into, tuning into, and turning on my own feelings of how I feel on the raw vegan diet compared to a cooked vegan diet, I personally feel much better when I consume a raw plant diet. That does not mean that I am eating 100% raw every single day of my life. as I've shared in previous conversations, particularly when I travel, I'm going to a new country, a new city. I'm having a new experience. It could be even in a new restaurant in the city where I'm living, or it could be in a restaurant that I've been to before. I sometimes choose a cooked vegan meal based on availability, based on my curiosity to see how a particular cooked vegan meal tastes, and also based on my desire to communicate with others that there are some cooked plant food options out there, because let's face it, the raw vegan diet is not as popular as the cooked vegan diet. So the cooked plant food diet. So those are my main reasons why I personally choose a plant diet versus a raw plant diet predominantly versus a cooked plant diet predominantly. I shared, in prior videos, for example, I feel more sluggish, more fatigued when I consume more cooked plant foods. I feel heavier. I'm not as energetic and happy and bubbly and light as I would like to be. So I prefer to, lean into the raw plant foods that really give me that high hydration, high fiber, high nutrition, high energy, high frequency, and high vibration. So for me, I'm looking for the highs. Again, that does not mean that I am bashing a cooked plant food diet. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just simply sharing my personal experience and some of the hacks and tips that I found along the way. So again, thank you to everybody who's watching the videos, who are commenting on the videos, etc. So I invite you to follow me over on YouTube, Instagram, tap the links in my bio on both of those, platforms, and check out all of the awesome information I have on my website for wellness events coming up. A retreat that I'm planning as well this year, more than one retreat, but we'll start with one. And I will start to hold live events as well to discuss. And I'm going to throw this out there that our first destination for our retreat will be Costa Rica. That's the plan for this year, to kick it off with Costa Rica. I've been lucky to visit Costa Rica 3 times, and all of my experiences have been great, and all of my experiences have been in different parts of Costa Rica. So I feel it's such a beautiful destination to start with. So that's where we'll start. So tap, the link in my bio, and then head on over to the retreats page and sign up to be among the first to get the information to sign up for our retreats. So with that, I am going to jump into the tips and hacks for thriving, how to thrive as a raw vegan in winter and year round. And that is a part of, these topics are a part of one of my ebooks on Amazon. So you can tap the link in my bio and head on over to the books, and you will see this particular title among the others that I have out there. So, you can check that out. And you will see a title called How to Thrive as a Raw Vegan in Winter and Year Round. All right, so let's get started on the topics for today. If you've missed the prior conversations, they're in the prior videos this week, as well as some videos that I had created last year as well. So the next topic is produce delivery. So increasingly nowadays, there are several online options for ordering and enjoying fresh produce delivery directly to your door. Okay? At your home, your office, your hotel, your cabin, your villa, your boat, wherever you are. Okay? And this might be an option for you if you're not able to access fruits and vegetables, herbs, etc. in your local supermarkets or grocery stores or farmers markets in winter, or if you're not able to grow your own food. Some of your national supermarkets will certainly offer online delivery services to your door, so you could consider ordering from the markets with which you're already familiar. That's also possible. And then some of the popular options in the US for produce delivery, and I include links to those in the ebook. And I will mention, a few of them here just to kind of give you a head start before you download the ebook. And so one of them is called Farm Box Direct. Another one is called Imperfect Foods. And another one is called Miami Fruit. And I give some others in the ebook as well. Okay? So those are some of the options that you might consider to get some fresh produce delivered right to your doorstep. The next tip is the topic, take the chill off. I'm going to repeat that. Take the chill off. This one has been so monumental, so pivotal, so powerful and important on my raw vegan journey. I cannot stress it enough. Take the chill off. One of the biggest mistakes some people make is eating their raw vegan meals directly out of the refrigerator or freezer, thereby consuming products and produce that are still very, very, very cold, as you can imagine. And this can sometimes cause you to feel cold, especially in winter. That's what some people have said. They especially feel cold eating raw plant foods in the winter. That's why I wrote the ebook. And that's why we're having this conversation today. In order to take the chill off your raw vegan meals, your raw vegan produce, here are a few tips to get you started. When you bring your produce home, your fruits, vegetables, herbs, spices, keep your produce on the kitchen counter or on some shelving that you may have, instead of putting your produce in the refrigerator or freezer to allow the food to reach room temperature. Another tip can be you can thaw your frozen produce at room temperature a few hours before using. Let's say you're going to make a raw vegan smoothie in the afternoon. You're going to make a raw vegan salad in the afternoon or the evening. You're going to make a raw vegan dip or hummus or spread or sauce or dressing or soup. You name it. One of my tips is to take your produce out of the refrigerator, out of the freezer. Let's say in the morning, put it on the counter. Put your food on the counter to reach room temperature. Another tip is to rinse your fruits and vegetables and herbs in warm water to take the chill off if they were in the refrigerator or freezer. I also invite you to leave your drinking water on the kitchen counter instead of the refrigerator or freezer. That way it's also at room temperature and you're not drinking, very cold water. And that goes for even if you're making, you're making water-based smoothies, which is what I predominantly do. Or you're putting, you're using water to soak some herbs or to make, for example, I personally make my matcha tea with room temperature water. Also, I suggest that you avoid adding ice to your drinks and smoothies so that, they're not so cold. Another tip is to blend your fruits and vegetables, fresh herbs, to add a warming effect in a beautifully yummy smoothie or soup or sauce or dip or dressing, for example. So the blender will warm your meal to what we call, warm to the touch. It won't be hot, of course, but it'll be warm to the touch. And I'll be giving some additional, tips on warming your food. But this is really in reference to taking the chill off when your produce has been refrigerated or frozen. The next tip is under the umbrella of digestion. When we digest or metabolize food, our body temperature rises during the digestion process and creates a warming sensation in our body. I invite you to enjoy this slight rise in body temperature that occurs about 20 or 30 minutes after you eat a meal. This warming sensation can be quite pleasurable, particularly in winter, due to the increase in your metabolic rate during the digestion process. One of the key lessons I learned on my raw vegan journey is to consume ripe fruits and vegetables in order to optimize my digestion process. I noticed that when I consumed unripe plant foods such as unripe bananas or unripe pears, my digestion struggled. In the ebook, I give 2 really great article links for some awesome tips on healthy digestion on a vegan diet. I invite you to download that ebook on Amazon. The link is in the bio for my ebooks that are easy to download. My next tip is keep it super simple. The KISS principle. Keep it super simple. That's one of my mottos in life, not only for the raw vegan diet. However, in general, I love to keep it super simple. I don't like to overcomplicate life. And one of my favorite approaches, as I say, to life, under the umbrella of keep it super simple, and let me just explain what I mean by this, is that if you're feeling overwhelmed for whatever reason on your raw vegan journey in the winter or year round, and you're trying to figure out how to thrive on raw plant foods, my suggestion, based on my personal experience, is to keep it super simple and to enjoy consuming fresh fruits and vegetables in their original form, in their whole food form. And this could look like eating a bowl of whole fruits such as fresh organic apples, oranges, or pears that are abundant in winter in many parts of the world anyway, whatever your local winter produce is. Just, maybe have a bowl of those fruits. That could be an option. Another option could be juicing your fresh organic fruits and vegetables in a cold pressed juicer. The reason I mentioned cold press is, to reduce the amount of heat that is applied to your fruits and vegetables. And you can also juice herbs. Those are awesome as well, to extract the goodness and the nutrients. And, I actually did an exercise, an experiment recently. And in a calorie tracker such as Cronometer, and I've shared that in a previous tip, I actually input the nutrition values of, let's say, 4 quarts or 4 liters of fresh pressed juices, a combination of fruit juices and vegetable juices. And I saw that, the protein level is very, very, very high in consuming 4 quarts of juices or 4 liters of juices per day. Let's say you want to incorporate juices as a cleanse or as a part of your daily practice. I'm not saying to include 4 quarts or 4 liters per day. I'm just saying that if a person were to do that just on juices, you could really, really, really consume a lot of protein. And the reason I mentioned the protein factor, the protein element, is because it's such a big topic in the diet arena, in the food arena, and in particular in the plant-based vegan arena. Many people are very, 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 very focused on protein, and there are, various perspectives on how much protein do we need. Well, that's an individual question and answer. Depends on the person, depends on the person's body, size, weight, activity level, nutrition needs, etc. So I just wanted to include that because, juicing fresh organic fruits and vegetables and herbs can be awesome as well. And that's a fairly simple way to approach this way of living year round. Another tip for keeping it super simple is to chop your fresh organic fruits and vegetables, put them in a blender with a little bit of water, maybe add some herbs and spices, and there you go. Super simple. Okay, that's one of my favorite ways of eating. And if you see some of my posts, you will see some of my videos where I share super simple smoothies that are water-based, tons of powerful plant foods, and I also have an ebook with some yummy smoothie recipes. So over 20 different smoothie recipes in that ebook as well. You can download that. So sometimes we can overcomplicate our lives, including our raw vegan journey. And another tip here that I have in my ebook is making a beautifully yummy salad, chock full of fresh lettuce leaves, tomatoes, chopped carrots, chopped apples, chopped oranges. You can peel and dice your raw beets, cilantro leaves, avocado, lemon or lime juice, and there you have it. You don't even need to make a dressing. I was on a trip one time in Madrid, Spain, and I was in a restaurant and I didn't really want to deal with like the whole, olive oil and vinegar combo because I didn't really, let's just say, want to go down the oil route at that point. And so I ordered some freshly pressed orange juice. If anyone knows Spain, you know that they have an abundance of oranges in that country, as well as many other countries. But I happened to be in Spain at that time. And I ordered a freshly pressed orange juice, and I poured some of the orange juice over my salad as a dressing. And it was awesome. It was beautiful, delicious, tasty, yummy. And it added nutrition, and it was fresh, and just, a beautiful dressing that you can just add to your salad. So that's one of the ways that I like to keep it super simple. So there are obviously times when we'll want to go beyond our routine and our comfort zone by trying something new and a bit more complicated. However, there are also other times when keeping it super simple can go a long way in also achieving our goal to thrive on a healthy raw vegan winter diet. A super simple approach can make a lot of sense, especially when you do not have a lot of extra time to plan and prepare your meals. You do not have any fresh ideas to create a more complex meal, or you do not have a lot of ingredients on hand to create a more elaborate meal. So you can keep it super simple. And the last topic I'm going to cover today, and then I will pick up some additional topics in a subsequent conversation. So our final topic today is under the umbrella of raw bowls. I really enjoy eating large raw bowls full of several raw fruits and vegetables due to the clear benefits of high hydration, high energy, high fiber, high vibration, and high nutrition. If you are new on your raw vegan journey, eating several raw fruits for a meal may also seem daunting. Might seem awkward, scary, strange, new. And so you may want to increase the quantity of raw fruits little by little until you become accustomed to the fiber, flavors, textures, volume, hydration that you find in raw bowls. Now, once your body and your taste buds, and that's very important too, taste buds. Anyway, once your body and your taste buds become acclimated to eating whole foods in abundance, as opposed to drinking juices, for example, you will most likely find that you are much more open to the concept and possibility of eating whole fruits and vegetables. And this can lead you to start to eat bigger bowls of whole fruits and mixed salads on a more regular basis. I personally, about 20 years ago, I was obese, and I was told that, I was going to, be put on cholesterol medication if I didn't get my weight under control. My cholesterol was not good, not in the desirable range. And I saw a nutritionist, and, I really appreciate all of her hard work with me. And I was vegetarian, pescatarian at the time. This was 20 years ago. And so I designed a diet that consisted of fruits and nuts in the morning for breakfast, mostly fruits and nuts. Sometimes I would have like a soy yogurt or something. Back in those days, there weren't so many options with plant yogurts as there are nowadays, of course. Back in those days, they started to come on, I think, with like coconut yogurts and like almond yogurts. But anyway, not so many options. So my breakfast was mainly a big bowl of fruits and nuts, a small portion of nuts. And then for lunch, it was a cooked one pot meal of brown rice, different beans. I would rotate the beans throughout the week, herbs and spices, and then a big bowl of that, rice mixture. And I also put vegetables in there. And then for my evening meal, I kind of repeated my breakfast meal, and I would create a big bowl of fresh fruit and a small portion of nuts. And I lost over 80 pounds. So I got out of that obese category. I got out of that overweight category, and I got into my, shall we say, standard weight for my height and so forth, and my activity level. That's very important. Now, before I started to eat these bowls of fruits, for example, I was not used to eating a lot of whole fruits. So what ended up happening was I really wanted to get into fruits, but I just couldn't bear the thought of eating several raw fruits. Honestly, I couldn't fathom it. I couldn't embrace it at that time. I had a lot of resistance around eating whole fruits in abundance. I could eat maybe one, maybe two, but I couldn't eat a lot in abundance. And so the way I started out to get myself accustomed to consuming the flavors of fruits was to start with organic apple juice in the glass bottles that you get at a supermarket. And I started to consume, a couple of cups of the orange juice per day. And that got my palate accustomed and acclimated to consuming fruits. It was in a juice form. Back in those days, I wasn't really very aware of like fresh cold pressed juices and freshly made smoothies. I didn't even have a blender in those days. I didn't even have a juicer in those days. I was quite late to the game when it came to juicers and blenders and gadgets. I was not a gadget person before. Again, this was 20 years ago. Although interestingly enough, the women in my life, the matriarchs in my life, were pretty big on gadgets, and I was not. Again, this goes back to my life philosophy, as I just shared in the previous tip. Keep it super simple. And that really applied to even what I had in my kitchen. My kitchen was super simple. And so I'm mentioning this in case there are people out there who are not used to eating a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables at the same time, particularly in their raw original form, in their whole food form. Perhaps consuming juices and smoothies can be an entry point, a starting point, a reset point, a launching pad to kickstart and jumpstart and reset your palate, your body, your gut microbiome. Even in cold pressed juices, freshly pressed juices, there is still fiber. There is that soluble fiber that dissolves in the liquid, in the living water from the juices. So I invite you and encourage you to consider different ways, being open-minded, with different ways to add more fruits and vegetables in their raw form to your lifestyle. Even if you're not going raw plant-based vegan, if you're not going vegan, if you're not going whole food plant-based, whatever you choose, adding more fresh fruits and vegetables in various forms, in their whole original form. Grab an apple. I do that. I ate several apples yesterday, just like that, without even blending them. Okay? So you can, eat your fresh foods just like that. So as time goes by, you will most likely realize how much you're enjoying these beautiful plant foods with all of their benefits for your gut health, your mood, your mind, your entire body, and your entire being, your entire essence, your entire energy. And as part of your raw vegan journey in winter and year round, I encourage you to include the following as the bulk of your raw vegan diet. I suggest you include lots of organic whole fruits, both sweet and savory, baby spinach, organic tender leafy greens such as various lettuces, romaine, red leaf, green leaf, butter, etc. Iceberg lettuce, I think, gets a little bit of a bad reputation. And I personally love iceberg lettuce. For example, I really love making like raw tacos and making the raw shell out of the raw taco with iceberg lettuce, because it already has that like circular, kind of like that cup shape, and so then I can just put the fruits and veggies and maybe a little sauce in there, and then I can hold the leaf of the iceberg lettuce very easily and just kind of fold it like you would kind of hold a taco. So there you go. And I also, invite you to consider including spring mix, such as tender baby lettuce, spinach, chervil, red and green romaine, red and green oak leaf, chard, arugula, spinach, as I mentioned before, endive, radicchio, and other heirloom lettuces. All right. So that's what I will cover for today. Thanks for joining. I see quite a few of you. Thank you so much. I invite you to tap the link in my bio. Check out my upcoming events. As I mentioned, tomorrow, the Raw Vegan Reset. You can set your own appointment. The following Saturday, January 20th, a meditation session for all levels. I will be guiding that. And on January 27th, a Travel Well workshop where I will be sharing my tips and hacks for traveling the world well. Okay? So also on my website, happyenergyjourney.com, I have tons of recipes and health nutrition articles and documentary links, and I have 2 free downloads. I'm going to prepare some more free downloads coming up as well that will help you on your happy energy journey that we call life. And so I want to thank you so much for joining, either live or on the replay. I appreciate you chiming in. Please leave me a comment, a question as well. I love those comments and questions, so please keep them coming. And I wish you a beautiful rest of your day wherever you are in the world. And take good care, everybody. Bye-bye.